Okay. We'll start with the prayer first. Close your eyes. Seek the blessing from the Gurus, God and Goddesses to enhance our knowledge in the astrology. Once you feel you are done, slowly open your eyes. Yeah, already it was 4 minutes late. Let's start the class directly. Today we are going to see about the Venus. This is the last graha in our Navagraha series. Venus' other name is the Chukra or Bhargava. Mostly in southern part of India, I saw many people's name them as Bhargavi or Bhargava or Bhargavi. Mostly I heard this name. It representing the Venus. Let's have a little bit story about the Venus. Venus, Shukra is the Shukra Acharya. In the Navagraha, there are the two Acharyas. One is the Brihaspati, that is the Guru. The second one is the Shukra, that is the Shukracharya. Both are the Acharya. Acharya means they are the teachers. One belongs to the Devatas, one belongs to the Asuras. Now, in the modern times, the peoples differentiate them as the good or the bad, or the demon or the good peoples on the other end. But take it as a generalized idea that they are two separate clans. One belongs to the Devatas, another belongs to the Asuras. Both the energy levels and the characteristic are totally different from each other. Okay, let's have a little bit story about this Shukra. Shukra is the son of the sage Prabhu. In the sage Prabhu is and the Kavya Mata. They are the father and the mother of the Shukracharya. When he grows up, so Prabhu sent his son to the another sage called Angiras. So Shukracharya started learning from the Angiras from his early age itself. That point in time, one interesting thing about here was Angira's son is also studying under him. The Brihaspati is the son of the Angiras. So Brihaspati as well as the Sukracharya studied under the same guru. But here the problem comes. Angiras shows more favorite towards his son because his own son was studied under him. Obviously, he showed much more favoritism to his son. When he understand the circumstances, Sukracharya was little bit not happy with, not little bit, he was not happy about the situation. So he went to his father saying that I'm not going to study under him. So then he studied under the sage Gautama. That's why and even Bhrigu also teached many things to the Sukracharya. So this way, Sukracharya learning was enhanced and it reached beyond the horizon. The Sukracharya was very handsome and charming in nature. When the peoples looked at him and he heard the voice from him, the peoples were mesmerized. When he started in any topic, the peoples were really stunning about what he is going to speak. That much he was charming and he was very handsome, smart. Every good qualities comes under the beautiful Shukra. But the Shukracharya was continuously suffered with the favoritism. One point in time when he studies under the Angiras, he suffered with the favoritism because the Angiras son is the Brihaspati. Later on, what happened? Indra showed the favoritism towards the Brihaspati. That's why Indra chose Devaguru as the Brihaspati, not the Sukracharya. So then he knows his fate has always suffered with the favoritism. So he chose his own path. What he did, he goes against the normal path. He decided, okay, I'm going to choose the clean on my own self. So he chose to guide the people who belongs to the Asura clay. That's why he becomes the teacher of the Asuras. And that's why the people called him as a Shukracharya. Okay. Here, what we have to understand from the story is, even though it is a story, we have to understand few points here. One thing is, what is the characteristic about the Sukracharya? He is intelligent, charming, beautiful, handsome, and he can solve any problem. But at the same time, he is very exaggerate in anything. He exaggerate anything. Whatever he is doing, he want to celebrate in an exaggerated manner. Same time, he suffered with a favoritism. All things keep in mind when we are trying to learn the further about the Venus characteristics. Okay. Mostly Venus in the Navagraha, considered the cabinet of the Navagraha. In the cabinet of the Navagrahas, Sukra belongs to the art and culture minister. Remember that point. When we learn about the sun and the moon, we understand as the sun is the king, queen is the Chandra. So the Mercury is Buddha is the young princess, Mars is the commander in chief, Guru is the teacher, finance minister. But the Sukracharya here, he is the art and culture minister. Okay, so that's why he's a representation of the beauty, art, culture, wealth, any kind of luxuries in your life, and the women, particularly young women. Okay, if it is a old woman, whose it is belongs to? Anyone?
Shanishwara. Shanishwara.
All the old age peoples are Sanishwara, but old women. Chandra. When there was an old age peoples was there, and Chandra. That's why there was a one remedy for the Chandra also. If you have the strong Chandra in your chart, or you that means what is the strong Chandra means? If your moon is in a own house, if the moon is in exalted position, or the Guru was have an aspect towards the Chandra, then you have to the one remedy is give donation to the old age people, particularly old age women. That will, when there was Chandra Dasha was happening, and you have a good Chandra in your chart, this is the good remedy that enhance the energy of the Chandra in your life. Okay, I come back to the Chukra here. Now, this is the Venus represents the young women. Okay, now let's move on. Venus represents 8 components of the prosperity. The people will say this kind of the properties I want to achieve in the life, right? What are the 8 things? Your fortune, your health and wealth, vehicles, homes, knowledge, strength, progeny, and the power. But when it comes into the progeny, even though it is considered as the components of the prosperity represented under Venus, but the progeny is also depends the energy of the Guru. Okay, when it was mentioned here, this is not only the Venus energy, it is the predominant Venus energy. Okay, let's move into the Navagraha Sutra. If you want to increase the Venus energy in your life, there was a simple thing you can do. Just chant this Navagraha Stotra for how many times your mind wants. If you want to chant only one time in the morning, that's more than enough. If you want continuously mentally in your whatever you are doing, that's okay. Because this is the kind of the stotram, you no need for the initiation. You can chant whenever you need. For example, if you started learning the astrology, chant the Navagraha Stotra for at least one time. When you are ending also you can chant this, but when you are starting the studies of the astrology or any kind of the Vedic science, you start with the Navagraha Sutra. That will increase the energy level. Without the Navagrahas energy, no one in the world can learn the astrology. Okay. About the Sukras Navagraha Sutra comes like this. Himakunda Mrinaanavam Daityanam Paramam Gurum Sarvasastra Pravaktaram Bhargavam Pranamamyaham. Bhargava is another name of the Sukracharya. So it's mentioned is goes like this. You are such a wonderful person. You are also Guru of the Sukracharya. And whatever the knowledge he learned every Sastra in the world, in the universe. So we bow down to you. That's the meaning of the sutra. Let's now learn about the basic things about the Venus. We already learned about it many times, but even then, we at least we revise one time. Let me make it is a very big. Give me a second. This. Okay. Now here comes the question. What are the two houses owned by Venus? There are the two houses owned by Venus, right? Which are they?
Rishabha and Tula.
Rishabha and now I'm in India, so you can hear all the kind of the noises. Okay. Venus owns two houses. One is the Rishabha, second one is the Tula. Among the in the Kalapurusha chart, second house Rishabha, seventh house Tula. When it is comes, let's understand about the 5 elements principle. Then we will move on into the body parts. Okay. Rishabha belongs to the earth and Tula belongs to the air. When comes into the Rishabha, it's a fixed in nature, female quality. And when comes into the Tula, it is an air in nature, movable quality, male energy. Most of the time when we see about the two houses occupied by the grahas, one is the female energy, another is the male energy. All the time it comes like that only. If you see this, Mesha male, Vrikshika female, like that it goes on. So when the two houses occupied by the any grahas, one should be female, another should be the male, excluding the Chandra and the Surya. Because the Chandra is the female, Surya is the male. Exclude that one. But every house, every graha which is occupied in the Kalapurusha chart, at least having one female, not at least, it's having one female energy, and another is the male energy. Okay. Now come back to the Shukra. The two houses owned by one is the fixed in nature, another is the movable in nature. Okay. Now comes into the body parts which is representing the Rishabha is the face and the Tula is the lower abdomen. When the Chandra was in a good was when you have the strong Chandra, their face is really glowing, and you have to see them at least once. If you see the peoples who are having a strong Chandra, you don't want to take eyes out of them. You want to see one more time. Just the peoples are so much attractive in nature. When you have most of the Tula Lagna people, because here the Suryan was the depleted at this point in the Tula Rasi, most of the time you have the lower abdomen problem. If lower abdomen is represented by the Tula, but if your Chandra was also not in a good position and Surya was already, Surya will become depleted in the Tula. If you have the Sun in the Tula, then you definitely will have some kind of the problem in your lower abdomen. Okay, the coming to the exaltation point, where the Rishabha will get exalted. Sorry, Shukra will get exalted.
Meena Rashi.
Meena Rasi, right? Where the depleted point, where it is Venus will get depleted.
Kanya.
Kanya. So both the things are exalted and depleted in the 27 degrees. Why we need to understand about the depleted point and exaltation point? When you are analyzing this chart, the degree is much more important. Even though if you see like looks when you see the grahas which is present in the Rashi, you can say, okay, this is the combination, you should be like that, you should be like this. But you also have to consider which degree it was. What is the difference between the two grahas? It was residing in the same Rasi. This one you have to be remember all the time. In the beginning, we no need to worry about the beginning means as we are undergoing the beginner series, we no need to worry about the lower degree and higher degree, but keep that in mind whenever you are going further learning. Just take a look about which graha and which degree. Okay. So the exaltation point and debilitation point in is 27 degrees. Then we have to see about the Mula Trikona. Mula even Rishabha Shukra occupying the two houses, Rishabha and Tula. Rishabha is occupied by the Chandra already. So Surya have no choice. He have to take his own another house, that is the Tula Rasi. That is also becomes the Mula Trikona of the Shukra. So 0 to 15 degree is the Mula Trikona of the Shukra. And we know that gender is Shukra, Venus is the female planet. There are, okay, we'll leave about that. Rishabha represent the female and the male. And the aspect is the only one aspect it was having. That is the seventh aspect only. When comes into the direction, it representing the southeast. It's when the directional strength, it belongs to the north direction. Malefic planet? No, it is not a malefic planet. This is my mistake. It's not a malefic planet. It's a no, okay? Adi Devata is Indrani. Pratyadi Devata is the Indra. So most of the peoples, when they want to when they want to pacify Shukra energy, they try to worship the Indra. If you worship the Indrani, and Indra is all, Indra and Indrani are both are husband and wife. So if you worship any one of them, you obviously get the blessings from the Shukracharya. The element is the Jala energy. Dosha is the both dosha will be there. Kapha and the Vata. What is the meaning of the here? When you have the Venus energy in you, you definitely your kapha energy will go up or vata energy will go up. Or else you have the combination of the vata kapha energy will be there. This you will understand when there was an Shukra energy was flowing in you, you can easily understand that. But if you don't understand this one point, don't worry, you will understand when we learn about in the further in this classes. Okay, why I'm going very much fast, because this every line we learned already. I hope you can understand this point. Is there any doubt till here?
No, ma'am.
No, no.
That's awesome. Okay, let's move on. Okay, this is the point we have to concentrate much. Every planet representing every object in the universe. Even in your eyes, nose, and lips, everything's the Graha's energy was there. If you remember, I repeated number of times. Okay, I will again repeat one more time. If you see the flame called Lucy, it pictorially represent how the human body was interacting with with the universe. They somewhat represented it. You can easily understand that. But that much, every part in your body, not only you, everything, every object, even it is a living being or non-living being, the graha's energy will be present there. Okay, Sukracharya's energy, when comes into an area, it belongs to your bedroom. Trees, all kind of the flowery trees. If the tree was giving the flower, that's the Shukra energy definitely will be there. And the spring, the season is the spring. Shukra will take at least 25 to 30 days approximately cross one zodiac sign to the another zodiac sign. What is the meaning? For it takes 20 to 25 to 30 days from Mesha, then move to Rishabha, Mithuna, like that. It takes 20 to 25 days to move from one Rasi to the another Rasi. Okay. Guna is the Rajasic Guna. Why the Rajasic will come? Because he belongs to all kind of the luxuries in the life. If the Rajasic energy was not present, the luxury won't come into the picture. Okay. Vahanam means it's a vehicle. What kind of the movement energy the Shukra will have? It's have the camel, crocodile, and the horse. Okay, one interesting thing here. One interesting thing here. If you want to increase the Shukra's energy in your home, Some peoples may place the camel, crocodile, or the horse photos, or some peoples will have the horse doll in their in the living room or in your bedroom. This is the kind of increasing the supras energy. Then you may ask, okay, just a picture, how come it will represent? When knowingly or unknowingly, the camel, crocodile, horse energy, the Vahanam was belongs to the Sukras energy. So whenever the people was seeing, the energy will be flow. There are some things you can't able to explain. But remember this one, the Vahanam of the Shukra is the camel, crocodile, and the horse. Okay, you heard about this Vahanam for the Ganesha is the mouse, Vahanam for the Muruga is the peacock, right? If you have the good mass energy, and suppose in case if you want to increase the mass energy in you, if you have the peacock or you have the peacock feathers, right? You see the peak bundle of the peacock feathers, and you cleanse your aura, then the mass energy will be tremendously increasing. It's the people will call it as an aura cleaning, but there was much more in it. I know I'm a little bit diverting. I will tell you one thing. What kind of the things whenever you hold the object which is belongs to that graha, that will increase the energy in you. Okay, that's what I'm trying to say here. That's why I went into the peacock feathers. The peacock feathers is a wonderful healing body. When you have the bunch of peacock feathers bundle tied it together, then you move from the head to toe throughout your body at least one round. Your aura will be cleansed in a minute, not even a minute, in a second. It happens, but you have to do it frequently. It's a kind of one method. Why I said it will increase the Mars energy, because once your aura is cleansed, you have a capacity to absorb the Mars energy in your body. Okay, that was a different story altogether. I stopped there. What I'm trying to say here is, whenever there was an object which is belongs to any of the graha, if you place that or if you are trying to use that, that will increase the energy. But that will definitely, there should be a number of questions will come. How come that will do? It's a kind of superstitious, this and that. But try and see and tell me based on your experience what you are experiencing. Okay. The grains which is belongs to the beans, and the color bright white, pastel shades or shades of the pink. And the flowers is the white lotus, jasmine, white scented flower. Here is an interesting thing. When whenever you go for an Navagraha temple, if you particularly if you want to worship the Shukra, then you go with the white lotus or jasmine or any kind of the scented flowers which is white in color. It's a kind of the thing, whatever I'm trying to say, when you show your devotion to the grahas, you are representing this many flowers, saying that I'm showing my devotion to you in the kind of the worship by giving this to you. But the people will say, okay, you are giving and taking. Don't consider it. Don't consider it like that. Actually, whatever you're trying to doing here was, whenever you're holding the white lotus or a jasmine in your hand, you are somewhat acquiring the Shukra's energy in you. Okay, there was the thing in the villages, not in the villages, all the temples. Um, the people ask the women to have the flowers on their head, particularly jasmine. Why? If you have the jasmine on your head, at least around one finger, take the one finger length from your body. It will increase. It will cleanse your aura at least one finger length. That's why whenever you go into the crowded places, you won't get affected. Your vulnerability will be reduced, and you won't get affected with any of the peoples. Particularly, they practiced with the women's, but the women's have the different kind of the protection altogether. But for the women, this is the one of the things I saw in the villages. But if you find any of the story, please feel free to share. This is the thing about the flowers. When you move into the metal, diamond, silver, and white gold, if you want to increase the Shukra's energy, diamond is the best option you go for. But before that, you have to see whether your body have the capacity to accept that or not. Okay. Then move on to maturity age means when usually this above the 16 years only the Jupiter energy will get matured. That's why when the kid was born, the people won't go for writing the horoscope. They will wait for at least 16 years or at least uh, 13 years to pass on. Then they have to be go for an written for an horoscope. When the child was born, they go and write the horoscope. It's a total different story. But they won't see the horoscope for at least 16 years from the kid was born. Why? Because the maturity age of the every planet was different. For the Shukra, it was 27 years. So then question will come, what is the meaning of maturity here? When you are reaching the age of, considered you are at the age of the 27, you will receive full energy of the Shukracharya. And the years moves on above the 25, 27 years, your body will hold the capacity to receive the energy, full energy of the Venus. Okay, then consider the below the 27 years. What will happen? The energy the consumed by your body will be very much less. It didn't have any capacity to receive this Shukra energy. That's why we need this the average age, because they understand the Shukra's energy when you received by an individual, it takes this many years. Okay. Then the Dhatu will come, semen and the ovum. Consider it as a reproductive thing. Okay. When there was any problem in the reproduction of any of the individual, then you have to look into the Shukra. Then you have to look into the strength of the Shukra, how the Shukra Venus energy in your chart. Okay, I think everything was straightforward. Do you have any questions?
No.
Okay, let's move on. Okay, relationship here. We already saw this, but let's see about separately for the Venus now. Friends are the Mercury and the Saturn. We know why they are friends. Shukracharya don't like the sun and moon only. Okay, they become the enemies. Shukra shows the neutral to the Mars and the Jupiter. Then the remaining planet is the friends to them. Consider Mercury and the Saturn. Why the Mercury is the friend? Because the young prince wants to enjoy all kind of art and culture. Shukra is the art and culture minister. So he needs a good fan for him. Then Mercury comes into the picture. Saturn is always away from his father's son. So he obviously Shukra becomes the friends towards the Saturn. Mars and the Jupiter, they are neutral to them, neither the friend nor the enemy. When it comes into the nakshatra, now we are not going to see the characteristic or property of the nakshatra. We just going to learn what are the three nakshatras for the Venus. Bharani, Purva Falguni, Purvashada. One is the second in number, second is 11 in number, 20 in number. Then you may ask why I need to remember the number also. Remember this. Now you remember this number. Later on, I will tell you why you have to remember the number also. Okay. Then the lord of these three nakshatra is the Venus. Dasha period is the 20-year Dasha period. What is that meaning? That when you are born, it starts from the Ketu, whichever the Dasha which you are born. Every graha will have the different number of the years. That means that is the year more significant energy will be coming. So for the Dasha period of the Venus is the 20 years. Okay, then so every planet will have one different karagam, karagam for that. For example, if it was the Surya, it was an Atma Karaka. So every planet is having its own Karaka for them. For the Venus, it was the Kalatra Karaka. What does the mean Kalatra Karaka? Kalatram means it was the marriage or the relationship between two individuals. So marriage and the reproduction, you definitely have to see the strength of the Venus. And when it comes into a relation, it represents the wife or the men jat. If you are seeing the men jatakam, the individual is the man, then the Venus represent the wife. Consider you are seeing an male birth chart. So at that point, the Venus represent the wife, the relation. The relation is the wife, aunt, and the young girls. Okay. This one is the above one is a straightforward, so I move on. Okay. When it comes into the body organs, I listed a few only. There are the many things still we have to list, but at this moment, you remember this point only. The sperm, kidneys, urinary system, throat, and chin and the cheeks. Consider you imagine in the parts in your face itself. Okay. When coming into the characteristics, we are going to learn again. But altogether, what you can see, all kind of the beauty, particularly the beauty is a very, very mesmerizing. You sit before the Venus exalted person, you can't take the eyes from them. You want to see one more time. And you want, even though if they away from you, you want to look into them only. That kind of the mesmerizing beauty will be there. They are very much attractive. Obviously, because of the mesmerizing beauty, they become very much attractive. They're charming. At the same time, they like all kind of the luxury things. Even they start with the whatever the dressing, they want to do the makeup all the time. Even though if they are going for a sleeping also, they want to put the makeup and they go to sleep. Most of the time, they want to be in a very beautiful way. And if anybody was asking about the romantic relationship in their life, see the Venus. See the Venus strength. Is how is the Venus strength will be. The Venus is the weak or the strong. And the love, physical attraction will be there. Okay. They are very much creative. Very much means very much. Why? Because the Venus is the art and culture minister. Is the entire ministerial thing is belongs to the art and culture. When these peoples are when the Venus energy is high, their creativity is beyond the limit. And they always want to be in a not in the comfort zone. They want to be living in a comfortable place. And if whatever the things happening in their life, they want to maintain the happiness. They want to be joyful all the time. It's all the main characteristics. You may ask, Vanita, it's all showing only the good characteristics. Okay, you definitely will see the bad also. Don't worry. But remember this main thing. Okay, when it comes into the materials, still it have the materials means there are many things, but I listed down only the few important things. When you goes along, you will increase the list. Okay. Guru belongs to the big money. When the Venus belongs to the small money, what is the meaning? When you are storing in a piggy bank in your home, that belongs to the Shukra's energy. When you're saving in your large amount of your money in your bank, that becomes the Guru's energy. Any kind of the small money that is belongs to the Venus energy. If you put the 6D TV in your 6D TV studio, the peoples who have the good Venus energy, they have the high possibility they can open a studio. And the beauty products, all kind of the beauty related things, parlors, beauty products, any kind of the cosmetic things belongs to the Sukra's energy. Silk products particularly. Arts comes into all flavors in any kind of an art, whether you are doing in a clay also, whether you are doing in art in a gold also, it belongs to the Shukra's energy. Particularly furniture is the Shukra's energy. Okay, the mirror is the complicated part. plain mirror is the Surya, is the Surya's energy. Decorated mirror, the mirror which is having the decoration, that belongs to the Venus energy. Okay, when comes into the places, all kind of the very grand places. Grand means the decorated, interiorly very beautiful, and they decorated in a place in such a way that it's in a unique way, but it's very beautiful. That's all belongs to the Sukra's energy. Obviously, the balance belongs to the Sukra's energy. Flower park. When comes into a public places, flower park, cinema theater. Here is the interesting thing. The cinema theater, the cinema hall should be in a luxurious way, not in the very ordinary cinema theater. It should be a luxury cinema theater. That belongs to the Venus energy. Bakery also, in the bakery, which is a small bakery, it's not belongs to Sukra's energy. When the bakery, which is beautifully interiorly decorated, and it has the good furniture and the spacious, and it was the walls are well decorated, then that bakery is belongs to Sukra's energy. Any flower shops belongs to Sukra's energy. Okay, when it comes into this jewelry, silver jewelry is belongs to Shukra. Additionally, antique also. In in the ancient times, and the peoples try to now, not in the ancient times, nowadays also people try to have the jewelry in the gold or the silver form. If you want to increase the Shukra's energy, you have to use the silver jewelers in any manner, in your bangles or whatever the things you want, or you can eat in the silver plate, or you can eat and drink in the silver vessels, silver tumblers. It's up to you. But if you want to increase the Venus energy, there are the various ways. But whenever you are trying the different things, particularly in your jewelry, anything touch your skin, try to retest yourself, trial that and find whether it suits you or not. Even though it looks, give me a second, let me put the check. Okay. Even though it looks like when you put when the peoples will say, okay, Venus, okay, put the diamond, put all kind of this silver jewelry, antique jewelry. Don't believe anything. Just trial yourself, see whether your body was taking that energy or not. You will find that in whenever you are wearing the jewelries, you will definitely find that reaction in the 7 to 30 days. So if your body was rejecting, try not to use that. Simple. Okay. Till now we saw it was very basic. I hope you have any doubts still here.
No, ma'am.
That's awesome. Okay. Same thing. How we can find the strength of the Venus? If the graha is in the own house means Rishabha and the Tula, or exalted means the Meena, and in its own star. We know what are the 3 stars we saw. What are the 3 stars?
Bharani, Pubba, Purvashada.
Purupalguni, Purvashara. If it is in his home star and combined with the benefic grahas or aspecting the benefic grahas, so this all the things you have to keep in mind all the time whenever you're trying to find the strength of the Venus. Okay. Then this is the good side. Well, let's see the weakness. The Venus definitely in the Kanyaras or the Venus in the Badak house or the Marakasthana, combined with the malefic graha or aspected by the malefic graha or 6th or the 8th house. Now you have considered for the Venus 12th house also. So 6, 8 or 12 houses depleted, Pathakasthana, Marakasthana, combined by the malefic or aspected by the malefic grahas. When you have the weakness, you have to see everything. Then you can easily find out the graha is the weak or not. Then the easiest way what you can do, go ahead and see the Shatbala. Okay, this one we already saw. Actually, I have to put this in the beginning. I forgot to do that. Okay, let's start. Till now, there is there any doubt related to the Venus?
No.
No, ma'am.
It's totally awesome. Now let's see the Venus in the Mesha. Okay, this is then first calling the Kala Purusha. Mesha is the first Rashi. Imagine here, give me a second. In the Mesha Rashi, we have Venus. Imagine this situation. Now, before we see the Venus in the Mesha, first we see what are the 5 element principle belongs to the Mesha Rashi. Mesha is the Agni among the 5 elements. Mesha belongs to the fire and the movable in nature, male energy. These 3 things keep in mind all the time. Who's the owner? Mars is the owner. Okay, here comes the question. Mars and the Venus are friend or enemy?
Neutral.
Neutral. So Mars is the neutral energy. Okay. So now Venus is residing in the neutral energy house because the Mars is not a friend, the Mars is not an enemy. So his comfort is okay. And it is a fire element. Remember, Venus is element. You remember? Venus belongs to which element?
Water.
Water. Jala. Okay, Venus belongs to the Jala. So Mars belongs to the fire. Venus is the Jala in nature. It is residing in the fire house. Okay. Now, when the Venus was sitting in the Mars is not an enemy, it's neutral and the movable in nature, male energy. Male energy means considered as a strong energy. And here is an exalted is the Sun, depleted is the Saturn. Now we are going to see only the Venus in the Mars house. So that means when the fire and the water are combined together, what will happen? Hmm? Fire and water combined together, what will happen?
So fire would kind of indicate temper, but cooling effect of
Hmm.
water.
No. Practically think. There was a fire and the water combined. What will happen? Just
Water
practically.
will overpower fire.
The fire will be off. I mean,
Extinguished.
fire will be extinguished, right?
Yes.
That is the one. That is the one thing. That means the state becomes a state, and it started to move from that state. Correct. Consider the fire was started and the water was combined together and it extinguished the fire. It moves from that state to another state. Even though the state was changed, it is the strong in nature. Okay, now based on this idea, let's move into see about the Venus in the Mesha. When the Venus mostly this Venus basic characteristic we already know. These peoples are much more related to much more like all kind of the beauty products. They are cheerful in nature, happy in nature, they are joyful in nature. They want to be comfort in every parts in your every aspect in their life. They are very joyful person. Keep that in mind. Now combined here, they are cheerful and positive. Okay, where is that? They are cheerful and positive. Assertive in their expression of desire. Here is an interesting thing. They know how to express themselves. Whenever some peoples may, but the peoples who the graha which is in the Kadaka, Vrishchika, and the Meena, they may not be able to express themselves. They hold their feelings. But these people, they have the strong desire. They can express themselves. If they want anything in their life, they have any desire in their life, they know how to express. And the energetic and impatient. Okay, here the impatient which is comes because of it is sitting in the Mars nature, because the Mars is the very fast planet. It wants to do all the thing very fast. Venus is joyful in nature. When both the energies are combined together, they are energetic. There is no doubt about it. But the Venus was sitting in the Mars house. The impatient will comes on by the nature. Pound of travel means whenever there was a movable energy will come, they definitely want to travel from one place to another. That too, when the Venus was in the Mesha Rasi, if the Mars was in the Mesha Rasi, the story was totally different because Mars in its own house. But the Venus in the Mars house means Venus always have a tendency to travel. So that's why it was also in the neutral house. It still holds its characteristics. It have the pound of travel. Heading an institution, this is because of the Mars energy. Mars always have the leadership quality, and the Venus smartness combines to together, they can able to heading any kind of an institute. Creative pursuits, beauty and the fine arts, it's one and only because of the Venus thing. No competitors means you can't outsmart these people. They are very smart in nature. Even if you have a smart question in the world, they outsmart you in a fraction of seconds. Okay. The one biggest thing is no matter what, they get all kind of the comforts and luxuries in their life. Anybody have the Venus in the Mars? Venus in Mars? No?
I have it in Vrishabha. Next.
Rishibha. Oh, okay. Okay, wait a second. Then you are the correct person. Okay, we'll come to you next then. Okay, now consider this one as the Lagna. Okay. What is the Lagna represent? Lagna represent you. That means the self. When the Mesha is, I'm considering the Mesha is the Lagna. Okay. Mesha Lagna, Venus Graha is present in it. So that situation, definitely this all this point comes into picture. Then you may ask the question, I can't remember all these points. How come it is possible for me? The one easiest thing is you know about what is Venus and you know who's the Mars is combined together all the time. Then you can easily see when the Mesha Lagna, Venus was present in it. The simplest thing, they are very cheerful and joyful in nature. They are fond of travel, definitely creative in nature. That is for the self. Consider the situation. This becomes the second house. There was a Meena Lagna people, and the Mesha becomes the second house for them. Here, the Venus was present in it. Okay, now this is my question to you here. How you can analyze this one? We know the Venus characteristic in Mesha, and here this is the second house. Now, for the example chart, Meena Lagna, Mesha becomes the second house, and we already know the Venus in the Mesha. Now, tell me what are the analysis you will give for the Venus in the Mesha, that too in the second house.
Second house is for family, self-earned money,
Family, what is that? Family,
self-earned
money.
money, self-earned money.
Okay, money.
Second house is food. Second house is for food and fragrance and
Okay, let's go with the family and the money. Let's take only two significance at one time. Go with the family or the money. Combine this character and tell me what you will say for this.
so they would have a very happy family life, and they would earn money in the sense they would be self-made people.
Why self-made comes here?
Because it's self-earned money.
Okay. The money is the money. Okay, family money, self-earned or business or by the work that you have to see from the 6 and 10. Okay. Don't worry about the self earned here. Only consider it as the money. It is a dhanasthana. It gives you money in various ways. Whether it is you learning or it just comes from your rent, it comes from your investment, but the money is coming to you. That represents the second house. The family represents your second house. Whether you have the two peoples in your family, five peoples in your family, doesn't matter. The entire family represented as the second house. So combine it together, then how you can see this as you, you will have a cheerful and a positive people in your family, and your energy, you will have the energetic environment in your family. The money flow will be there. You may get the money from your creativity, or you may be an architect, or you may be a person who earn money from the fine arts. Definitely, from your while you are earning, there won't be any competitors in your industry. This kind of the thing you can combine and detail. Okay. Now we'll move on into the third one. Now imagine this one is becomes third house. Then my lagna moves into Kumbha lagna, and the Mesha becomes the third house for me. Now here it is the Venus. What will become? What is the third house?
Third house is for younger siblings, courage, communication.
Mm.
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 And even short travels, ma'am. Short
Short
inland travel.
Okay, let's go with the siblings and your communication or the travel. Combined this one. How you can.
So they would be fond of travel, which is there, and they would be so in communication they would be writers or creative writing authors maybe. So assertive in expression of desire. Yeah, it could be in writing form or verbal. They could be good at speaking, so they would be into maybe anchoring or something. And
okay, here is the thing. When they're found with the family, they're found with their younger sibling, because they definitely have the found of the family. So the younger sibling, they have the good relationship with their siblings. Communication when comes into, they clearly express what they want to say in any kind of an environment. The short, because the found of the short travel can be increased. They definitely there is these peoples may travel for day to day in their life for at least 1 hour or 2 hours in their day to day life. Definitely they have to go for a travel. Okay, I stop here for this kind of the homework. From fourth house you do on your own and find out how you can find the. Okay, now the fourth house becomes the Rishabha, right? Now we're going to see. Okay, sorry. Now in the fourth house become Rishabha. Sorry, Makara Lagna. This is the fourth house. So now we have to see the fourth house, fifth house, sixth house, seventh house. Play on your own and understand and remember this point and combine it together. And whenever you are trying to study the significance and the properties together, take only one significance. For example, what is the fourth one? What is the significance of the fourth house?
House,
House,
vehicle,
the
land, property, your
vehicle,
mother. What is it?
movable property.
vehicle,
Vehicle.
Immovable property.
Property. Okay. So take one thing, your mother, vehicle, or land or property. Take any one of the significance, then combine this property together. If you have Venus in and you have Magara Lagna, the Venus in the Mesha, definitely you have the good relationship with your mother. So combine this property with your relation, with any object, with any property. So combine it together and do that for the same thing for the fifth house, sixth house, seventh, eighth, 9, 10, 11, 12. In that way, you will understand Venus in the Mars, how it is placed, how it is playing its different role in the houses, in the bhava houses. So first bhava, second bhava, third to 12th bhava, how the Venus in the Aries was different. Okay. We still have a time. Okay, it's 3 more minutes. I move on into the next one. Okay, Venus in the Rishabha. I hope one. We will continue with the Rishabha later on also. I quickly find the 5 element prince. The second house from the Kala Purusha chart. So this is the earth element, fixed in nature, female quality. So the Venus exalted is the moon. And here, what we understand here, these people, the earth is the one element which is have the quality of a stable in nature. These peoples are very steady. They don't want to move from one place, one thing to another, or one place to the another. They want to be steady and settled in their life. That his or her mind move towards a tendency of settling or steady in their life. Okay. The energy is the female energy. That means it's not strong, it is a soft in nature. When I say male or female, not representing the exact individual, physical individual, it is an energy basis. So energy is the soft energy and exalted is the moon. When the Venus in the Rishabha, we know that what is the Shukra means. Now the Shukra was in the own house. Rishabha was in the Rishabha is the one of the house for the Venus. So the Venus was now in its own house. The Venus one more house is the Tula, but Venus was now residing in its own house. Venus proceeded in its own house. So that means the entire characteristic of Venus comes into play here. So consider the Venus was in the Rishabha. What it will become? We know that already. Venus is mesmerizing beauty and attractive charm, joyful and happy in nature, and they formed towards the luxury items, and they need the comforts in each and every aspects of their life. Remember all this point, then combined here. Okay, charismatic and attractive, we already know. That is the true nature of the Venus. Family, wealth, and the comforts. That is also another characteristic of Venus. Independent nature. This one you may not understand here now. Now we have to relate this independent nature with the story which I told you earlier. When the Shukra have different phases in his life, he choose his path on his own. He choose his path different from the people's because he belongs in the lineage of the sage. But usually when the sage was there, he how the Brihaspati was choosing his path, he chose the Deva Guru. Shukracharya also have various options, but he goes against the nature. He choose on his own. He choose another claim altogether, entirely different. None of the lineage from the Shukracharya peoples, they won't definitely choose that path. He's such a kind of the person. He choose an entire claim altogether. So that kind of the independent nature will come when the Venus was placed in his own house. Okay. They're elegant, sophisticated, and refined with the manners. Refined manners definitely. Why? Shukra was a very well-learned person. He knows all Shastra. He knew what to do in his life. And when whatever he was planning, whatever his strategy, he moved with his so much elegance. But at the same time, he do all the thing with his refined manners. And fond of dance and music, obviously it's another kind of an art and culture. So that becomes it's all the prominent quality of the Venus. When the Venus was sitting in its own house, its own quality will exhibit more than others. Even when the Venus was sitting in the Mars house, the story was a little bit different. Little bit the quality was changed here and there. When the elegant nature of the Venus becomes impatient because of the Mars energy. it becomes the speed because of the Mars energy. But when the Venus was placed in his home house, all the qualities of the Venus comes into play. Okay, someone say it. He's having a Venus in Rishabh. Who's that?
Yeah, Murali.
Is that
Except family wealth, I think most of it is okay. Fond of dance, I don't think I am, but music, yes.
Yeah, the form of dance is okay. This one I will tell you why you may not. Uh, we'll see that also. But your interest of the music, right? It's not always necessary. All the point will come true for you, at
Yeah.
least, or either of them. Some people, okay, the people like me, I can hear the music, but I don't know the music. Okay, that is totally different. I will tell you why that reason also. At
And
which
also,
house your Venus was?
I'm running Mahadasha, Shukra Mahadasha right now.
No. Which house the Venus was in? First house, second house, third house?
Third house, Meena Lagna.
Okay, wait a second. So your Meena Lagna, 1, 2, 3. Okay. Okay, now we have the live example. Now we combine this. Okay, what is this third house will meant for? We already know this belongs to the communication, younger sibling, and the courage. So combined all together, this property and the third house. And now you find an answer or no? Okay, here is an interesting thing. The independent nature here is not the lagna, it's not the jataka. The independent nature becomes the third house. The third house, Venus was sitting. So his younger siblings may be independent in nature. Is that true?
I don't have any younger siblings.
Oh, suppose in case if okay, then we can't verify this one. Yeah, let's go with another thing. Okay, suppose in case if your lagna was in a here, right? Sorry. My bad. Suppose if your lagna was here and your Venus was here, definitely all the 5 points will come to you. Now you understand why you are not dancing.
Okay.
Here comes, if you have a younger sibling, definitely they will be the founder of the dance and music. Okay, let's coming into the communication. Definitely when you are speaking, you are very much charismatic in nature and you attract the people through your communication. Is that happening?
Yeah, that's that's
Yeah.
true.
Then the family wealth and comforts will come into picture.
Comforts are, but not family wealth. I mean, it's like I mean, I don't have any family wealth, but I am comfortable, so that's okay.
Oh, I see. Okay, wait a second. Okay, then the elegant, sophisticated with the refined manners, mostly it won't be come into the Jataka. It comes into when the relation which is relevant with. Suppose if you are married, you are the Venus mostly belongs to his Venus energy belongs to the wife or the young um, mostly belongs to the wife. If it was seen in the male Jataka. But the Baba was telling about the younger sibling. So maybe if you are having an younger sister, then this one will comes into the picture. This is not representing the Jataka. Remember when it was in the Lagna, when the Venus was there, that is representing the Lagna. But most of the thing you have, that's why I asked you to combine the Baba. Now you understand the difference, right?
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
or I'm confusing.
Third bhava and the characteristics of Venus in yeah.
Correct. Okay, now consider the one more situation here. Imagine consider he have a lagna, Rishabha lagna. Sorry, no. I need this one as a seventh bhav. Wait. Okay, here it is Venus. and the Lagna was Vrikshika Lagna. Okay, then this one was representing that seventh house is the spouse. His wife is having all this nature. He may be charismatic. If this was happening, the Vrikshika Lagna and the Venus is in the seventh house, then this quality will comes into the picture. You got this point? You have any doubts on this at this point?
No.
Okay. So same thing. That's why I ask you to do this homework. In the beginning, definitely it will confusing like anything. That's why I ask you to do one significance at one time. Take one house significance one time and compare this property. One point in time, what you will become or what you will go through the phase like. You will forget everything, you mix everything, then you will be lead into a confusion. That confusion is the gateway to your understanding everything. So don't worry about it. Go ahead with your do the homework all the time. When you start here, when you in draws the 12 charts, as I showed you in the earlier classes, draw the 12 chart, place the Venus in the Rishabha, and make this Rishabha as the first house, second house, third house. So move the Lagna. Okay, consider this is when it was the second house here. Move the Lagna to reverse, so that you can understand the Venus is the first house, second house, third house, fourth house. Combine the Bhava and read these properties. When the Venus in the Rishabha is the easiest thing you can remember. Why? You no need to remember this point. You know the Venus qualities, you know the Venus characteristic in your mind, then combine that with the bhavas. So once you have this understanding clearly, when the Venus was in the first house, second house, third house, fourth house, fifth house, sixth, seventh, eighth, and ninth, 10th, 12th houses, then you can easily combine with another graha. At this point in time, we are not learning about combining this graha. What does it mean? So consider now we are seeing only the Venus, right? In when you see most of the birth charts, definitely you will see the one more graha was in the same Rashi. Well, not even one. There is the 2, 3, 4, 5 grahas also in the same Rashis. So when you are at that point in time, if you want to understand that combination, you have to be very much clear when one graph was present in the 1 to 12 rasis.
I have Kuja with along with Venus in the third house.
Venus with
I have Kuja and Shukra in the third house. In the Vrishabha Rashi.
Rishabha. Third house. So Meena Lagna.
Yeah.
You said you don't have a brother. Okay. When the Venus and the Mars, which is sitting in the same houses, this one becomes the more or less this property will come. Because whenever the when the graha was placed in the rashis, that will do its work no matter what. When the graha was not present, then you have to consider the owner of the rashi. But here, the Mars is also present, Venus is also present. But here there was one interesting thing you have to know. Mars is the speed in nature, but the Venus, this element, Mars is the fire element. The Venus is an earth element. This is the movable and this is fixed. Both are contradicting with each other. When the earth want to fix in nature, then this one was try to move in nature. And this one was female energy, it was the male energy. So that time, more or less, this energy will, this point will be matched. But that too, it was his third house. Okay, sorry, this one, this one will match. Because when it was in the third house, Venus and the Mars was present in the third house, mostly this will match. Is that correct?
Yeah, probably. Yeah. because yeah, I do travel a lot, and I think a couple of others are same as the other one. Yeah, and I also my kuja is more. I think it also has a Trikonadipati, right? Ninth house lord. So I think kind of strong. And also the two planets, the two grahas are in Mrugashira, which is owner of which is Mars again.
Mm, mm. Okay, in
So
one
the
line, you will definitely get. Yeah, what is it?
Kuja's characteristics predominant over I think.
Mostly this in one line, if you want to say, he will get all comforts and luxuries of life. Is that true?
Well, I have struggled, but now I'm okay.
Yeah.
I'm 60 years old, so I have struggled enough to be comfortable.
Okay. Yeah, this is not happening in the day one. Definitely, because the Mars was present, right?
Still you are blessed.
What is it?
Still he's blessed.
Yeah, definitely.
Yes, I feel I'm blessed. Yes.
Okay, I don't want to confuse here with the two grahas. This is too early to say this, but don't worry about this combination of the grahas. We'll definitely learn how you can combine this grahas energy. But at this moment, definitely it will take time to learn, because when I place this one Venus and you have to see all in the 12 places, definitely it will test your patience. It will tell you, okay, it's too boring and I don't want to learn this. But once you finished one graha, you will find a different perspective in studying the astrology. That's why I repeatedly asking you to study this. When one graha was placed in the one rashi, go with the same thing for different bhavas, first and second to 12th bhavas. Then definitely you will understand different thing in astrology. And you can combine with the properties also. Okay, from I reached my time limit. I'm extremely sorry for that. I
Sorry,
stopped.
I took time. Sorry.
No, no, that's okay. Any doubts here? So everybody was silent, means there was no doubt.
Yeah.
I take it in that way. Okay, we'll see you all next week then.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Vanita. Take care.
Yeah, thanks.